Hey, you guys, it's Jada again, and I want to talk a little bit today about leading tone. Let's go ahead and call this a leading tone tonicization of a chord. And what I mean by this is I'm going to be on a chord, and instead of using a chord to tonicize it, mean lead it to a place where it feels like it's at rest at home. We're going to introduce some dissonance in the chord and then stay on that same root note or the same bass note, not necessarily root note, but same bass note, and then tonicize the chord that way. Let's go ahead and be in D flat. This it sounds crazy when you're listening to it. You talk about it, but you've heard this type of thing before. So we're going to be in D flat. Here's the numbers for D flat: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to 1. Now, I'm going to start on the 4 because I can make a little movement out of this, and then I'm going to start break it down a little bit. Here's what I was doing with this a little while ago. Now that's the move I was doing. I'm gonna do that one more time. Sorry. That's what I was doing with move. Now we went basically for this is really the first inversion of the one, but it's got the bass note of the scale tone 3. First inversion 1. This is a 2 chord, but I'm taking it to really a first inversion of a B major chord, which is not in our key, but we'll deal with it. 1 chord, 7 chord, but this is a version of 7 scale tone for the C, but we're playing it as a first inversion 5. And this is really our 6 scale bass tone, but I was using it as first inversion 4. Catch the theme here? And then I just walk down the 5, using the 1 and the 3 of the 5, 1 and the 3 of the 4, and then back to first inversion. This is the 1 and 3, this would be, I mean, you can look at it like that, but I'm playing it like this. So it's the first inversion of the 1 chord. So real nice, real open, real airy. So what's going on here? Let's take each one of these chords. On the 4 chord, we had our 4 chord. We've got our 1, we've got our 5 in our left hand, and back to the 1. But then in the right hand, we've got our 7th in here, and then we've got, this is our major 7th. For if we were in this key, G flat, this is our 7th, and then we've got our 3 for this chord. I'm speaking about the numbers right now, thinking in the key of G flat. We're using the scale of G flat because that's the chord that I'm on. And to make that perfectly clear, when you are in or when you're on one particular chord, that chord has its own key center, but you're in the context of a much larger key, which is the song itself. But for this moment in time, and I say that a lot when I'm throughout my videos, because right now we're kind of looking at this chord and G flat is the focus. So in G flat, this is why it's important to know all your scales and keys, because you can't think in G flat for a moment in time if you don't know G flat. So here we go. This is our 7th chord, major 7 in G flat, and what I did. Now, if we're looking at this, taking a little snapshot, let me pull my 5 out real quick because it's implied. We have what looks like an augmented 7th chord, and that's what it is. And we went here, we introduced a little dissonance, and then we went right back. So I can do both. I'm really coming here and giving this kind of a 6, a major 6. So we were on the major 7. I could roll it in that same way right there, but introduce the dissonance and you've created a whole different thing. And notice how this scale tone is not in our large key of D flat. It's not in our key of G flat either. So it's literally there to introduce the dissonance, to lead us to this one note. Now let's deal with this D really quick on a, let's also think in E flat. This is going to get a little complicated, so go with me. I'm trying to go quickly, but I want to make sure you understand. Let's look at E flat. We're going to call this note. This is literally the leading tone for E flat. So if we were in the key of E flat, a D would lead us to an E flat. Well, look, in the scope of things, this is not our chord, but this is our note that we're leading to. So what did we do? We used the leading tone of this one note inside a large chord to get us to that one note, even though that note is inside this larger chord. And on the way, it made us a augmented chord. But the bigger issue here is we're dealing with leading tone tonicizations. Okay? So that's what we did on the 4 chord. Now watch this. This is the chord we're going to. First inversion for the 1. But we can do that same thing. Watch, we're in this key. Leading tone, this is the note we're going to. So let's look at it. Here I am. Hit the leading tone. Then go to my chord. See what's happening there? Led to this one note. Even though this happens to be the chord, but it's leading to the one note. And this brilliantly and beautifully shows you exactly what I'm talking about, because this is the chord for the key. Now let's go here. We're going to go in on a chord that's outside of the key. This one ended a chord in the key, ended on a chord in the key. But this one we're going to jump out of the key. We're ending on the we're ending on a B major chord, but this is in first inversion as well. Now look at this. We said that we're in B first inversion. Let's look and see what the leading tone is to see if it's consistent. Look at that. You're getting a lot of scales for the keys today. This is our leading tone once again, and if we need a number for the leading tone, the 7 of a scale, the 7 scales tone is your leading tone back to your 1. So when I went to this chord, I ended on this. Now this chord is not in the key that I'm in, but it does sound kind of nice. And then in this case, I was going here to my 1. I kind of made it a major, let's see, this is a major 13 because I've got my 7th in here, but I've got my 6th scale degree, so that'll make that a 7, or make that a 13. I'm sorry. I'm going to talk about that in another video. But anyway, how come this is a 13 instead of a 6? Anyway, let's go back and deal with this chord. First inversion B. How can we use a first inversion B when B is not in our key of C sharp? Well, or C sharp or D flat. Let's deal with B for 1 second. We were on it just a second ago talking about the leading tone. Now, notice that now since we're in B, we are going to have to call this a C sharp because it would be B, C sharp, D sharp. When we were in D flat, this is D flat, E flat, but they're the same exact notes. C sharp, D sharp, D flat, E flat. Doesn't matter. The sound is exactly the same. Those are inharmonic equivalents. But in the key of B, while we're dealing with this, this is the 1. That would be 2. But we know we've talked about before how we can take the 2 and make it major if we're taking it as a secondary dominant to get to the 5. So it's not unheard of to go from B to D flat or C sharp major in this case, C sharp minor. And also you can look at this as just a chord or borrowing a chord, like a modal substitution type of situation. So this is not unheard of. You can get to it modally or look at it as a secondary dominant. So back in D flat where we're at, and when I played it, I just sat here and I'm using, since I'm in B, I'm also using my ninth in the chord, even though this is in first inversion. This is the chord, but, and I won't even call it a ninth, this is the second because I don't have my seventh present. Again, I'm going to address that in a different video. But anyway, here's what I did. First inversion, B major chord. I was on the root position, E flat minor, but it took me to my first inversion, B chord, B major, and then I made a major 13 on my one chord, and I did a leading tone to that middle note. Notice how this is all happening in inner voices of your chords. But let's deal with this. Since this is leading us here, let's look at B flat major. What do you know? It is the leading tone. We've done it again. See that? Led right to my note. Now we're on our seventh chord. This was our one for our key. Now we're on our seventh for our key, but this is a first inversion of the 5. Notice the notes I have. So this is a first inversion, and it's also got the second in it, the same as I did with this chord. Same chord. But let's lead it. Let's look at the scale. Right in the inner voicing. And then I'm using that first inversion for G flat major. Instead of using my 6th chord, which would be this, I'm kind of running through it really fast. If you look, there's my 6th chord, but we're ending on the first inversion of the 4. So I ran through my 6 real quick. We were here, and then we went to the 6th chord, and then we went in triad position. Here's the chord, the 6 right here. So right back to the first inversion of the 4, and then I got here and I walked it down, and I can do this. But if I attach this to so the same kind of leading tones, and then we did this one already. So one more time. Now, if I were in, I want to start wrapping this up. If I were in a song, see, I threw that right in there. I wanted to make that major. That's just something for me to throw in there. Let me see. So as you can see, it's really easy off of the 4 chord to go ahead and throw that right in. That's kind of why I started off of it immediately. But you often hear people also use it off the 4 quite regularly, and then off of the 2 to give us that totally different transition. And listen to the difference here. Got a strong minor chord here, but this is a major chord. Notice how and get to that B as well. Now, when you're hearing this sound, make sure you're listening because a lot of people are throwing this in their music these days. If you're playing a straight 2, it's wrong. They're going ahead and throwing off of that 2 chord. It's a major chord. It's the first inversion instead of root minor in the key. This is outside the key. This is in the key. Maybe we'll deal with that in another video or something like that. But anyway, people are using that off of the 2 chord. Let me see. Because I'm still using this. I still got this, which is in my key. I'm just harmonizing it differently. There we go. So take that, put it in a different key, put it in all your keys, like I always say, and run with it. But let me hit you with what I did at the beginning one more time. There you go. So again, happy practicing. Have a great day.